Hello guys, today is the 7th of December in the year 2020 and it is now 10:31 a.m. and the temperature is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. I am currently at 2001 Marcus Avenue in Lake Success, Long Island, New York. What I love about the pine trees,
what's that?
Is that the leaves are always there. And I guess the birds and the squirrel and other rodents and whatever small animals love them as well.
Yeah.
Because at least they have a hiding place.
Oh, you mean the needles?
Yeah. We're now making a left turn onto Lakeville Road. To my right, that is the Long Island Jewish Medical Center. Over there you have the Katz Women's Hospital, that's K-A-T-Z.
We are now at Union Turnpike and Hewitt Street.
have Key Food, Burlington, MJM Designer Shows, and quite a few other stores. And we're now crossing Little Neck Parkway. This is Commonwealth Boulevard.
We're now going over the Cross Island Parkway. And to our right is Creedmoor State Hospital.
In Winchester Boulevard. I think to my right here, this is a part of Ali Pond Park.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's Ali Pond Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I went there and I walked all over the place. It was just so big, and I know I still didn't cover everywhere. I spent like about 3 hours walking. Sometimes I end up walking around and going back to the same place I was before.
Did you see the pond?
No, that's the strangest thing, because I didn't know that Oakland Lake was a pond that is in Ali Pond Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kept looking for it and I asked some people that was there, but they themselves have no idea where it was. But later on I found out. You know, I'm riding in the car here, and for some reason my memory just dragged me back and remind me of when I was young and I would be riding my grandmother's donkey.
Okay.
Strange, right? They just kind of take me back to how far transportation is coming from, you know, because at first you used to have just horses, and then you have buggies, hard carts, and you have fancy chariots, all of those things. But I remember I used to ride my grandmother donkey, a special donkey. Her name was Doris.
Okay.
So everybody in the family know of Doris. So once you mention Doris, they know it's a donkey you're talking about. But at the time, I had to be about maybe 9 or 10, and they had special hamper made for these donkeys. So they would pad the donkeys back with thick blankets, put the hampers on both sides, and then you would ride the donkey wherever. But my grandmother would use a donkey to carry drinking water or fruits like tangerines, oranges, mangoes, sweet sap, you know, various kind of fruits, and cassava. Cassava was the main thing she would carry. That's bitter cassava to make bammies. So I would get on the donkey when it's empty, when the hampers are empty, and I would ride to either this place they call Bosso or Warwick or some other areas, maybe Sweetland, different places. I would ride the donkey, and most times when you get there, it would be really early, like maybe 6 in the morning, because the people who are selling the cassava would already be in the field. So we would go and we get whatever we are getting and load up the donkey. And most times when you put that load on the donkey, you just have to, I wouldn't be riding the donkey with the load, you just put the rope in the hamper, and once you pack that donkey, the donkey would just go all the way home.
Without you guiding it?
Without we guiding it. Yeah, and the mangoes, we didn't have to buy the mangoes because this place they call Bosso, that's in South Manchester in Jamaica, West Indies. Yeah, we would go there and there were all kind of mangoes, from common mango, robin mango, green skin mango, sweetie come brush me. Some areas would find out 1 or 2 Julie mango tree. Yeah, but it was just like fun. And the thing about the donkey, my grandmother would always have some of the load on her head, and she could balance the load on her head without holding it. So we'll just be walking, and then I would just have a few mangoes or cassava in a small bag or something. So I'd be running behind the donkey, and when I get home, we used to unload the donkey underneath a mango tree. So I would tie the rope of the donkey onto the mango tree and climb up on the mango tree and throw out whatever cassava and stuff I could throw out. And like if it's mango, I would like go in the kitchen. We had an outside kitchen. I would go in there and get a pan, they call them pudding pan. Then we had them in all sizes, you know, and I would put mangoes in them, climb down from the donkey and offload what I could. Most time when my grandmother get there, you know, most of the load would already come off the donkey. But the cassava baking, that was just something else, because she would get the cassava like Tuesday or Wednesday, and she would scrape the cassava on Thursday, put it to press on Thursday evening, and Friday morning early she started baking the bammies. So she would have this big broad metal that she placed on the fireside, and she had hooks that are made from metal, so she would bake the bammies inside them, and she would pack them in white towels, bring them to the market. But one of the places that she sell the most bammies was in Clarendon, in Rocky Point. They had this big restaurant over there. I remember the name of the lady was Mavis. Everybody affectionately called her Auntie Mavis. Yeah, and this man that worked there, his name was Doc. So each weekend when she go down, she would bring all these bammies and deliver to the restaurant. And then sometime we go there, we would get a lot of fish, especially small fishes that fishermen didn't really sell. So most time they would fry them and give us. We'll take them back to Manchester.
She sounded like she was a pretty industrious woman.
Yes, very.
And it's not that there were no cars, or that was just the mode of transportation that she used,
yeah,
right?
there were cars, but to go in the bushes to get the stuff is only a donkey would be able to do that. Yeah, and in the same Rocky Point there, they had the market over there. So you would walk around and stuff, you know, sell little peppers and all of that. After majority of the load, you know, is gone, you would do that. But her main market was Alley Market in Clarendon. Yeah, she would sell a lot of things at that market. But it was just like really fun, you know. And I remember, I can't remember clearly, but I had to be like maybe 6 or 7, because this truck driver used to live in Lancaster. That's in the same South Manchester. Lancaster is between Woodstock and Louisville, I think. But they used to have this man. He lived right at the foot of Number Hill in Lancaster, named Mr. Dixon. He had a Bedford truck, and I don't know how many years before that truck was running, but I would I remember vividly. Up to now, they would lift me up and put me in the back of that truck.
Okay.
Yeah, we're now crossing Utopia Parkway. Yeah, they would lift me up and put me in the back of that truck. And I would remember going up into the hills of Manchester. We would be looking back at all the trees and the road behind. Yeah, and I was just a tiny kid then. You know, but I said those days, they were really fun. Yeah, real memorable days, you know. So all of this, talking about the transportation and everything, just remind me of the donkey until, you know, you go to different kind of vehicles. I remember my grandmother used to tell me that the first vehicle in the area was a car that was made from fiberglass. I don't remember the name of the person that she said owned that vehicle, and then it come all the way up until you have Beverly's bus. Beverly's bus was the main mode of transportation. It would run from Farm, that's FORM, in South Manchester, all the way to Clarendon. I remember it would stop, it would come 4 o'clock every morning. Yeah, because that was what I would take to go to market with my grandmother. Yeah, because I didn't go to school on Fridays. It was the norm back then. Kids would stop from school on Fridays to go to the fields or help their family or do laundry, you know. Yeah, so I would take Beverly's bus with my grandmother, and I remember it would stop and pick up stuff, and the conductors would be on the top and some on the ground, and they'd just be hicing the heavy baskets. Yeah, they would get used to it so much that they would just throw them up, and you'd have a special thing that you used to mark your basket. You didn't have tags, so some people would use like a piece of red cloth or a black cloth or a green bush or something, so you know that is your stuff. And then I remember it would make a main stop in this place in Rest in Milk River, that is in Clarendon, and then it continued, and then I think the last stop from Milk River was at Alley Market in Alley. And from there, I think if you wanted to get a different Beverly's bus, because they had this bus system, so from Alley I think you had to take another Beverly's bus. I remember the name of that bus driver was Sarge. I don't remember his right name. I don't think a lot of people knew his right name. They call him Sarge.
Was that because he was in the military at one time?
I have no idea, because he looked like a military man. But those days were just fun, you know, really fun. Yeah. So I am familiar with all the way back from Mr. Dixon truck to Beverly's bus to now the Q44, the Q46, the Q72, the B this, the B that, you know.
Great experiences that a lot of kids will never have.
Yeah, we just crossed Parsons Boulevard. Yeah, those were the days, you know, and the thing is this, it wasn't so far back, you know, and even in some rural areas now in the same place, in South Manchester and other places, you have kids living that kind of life just now. Yeah, and it's just fun, totally fun, you know.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever rode on a donkey. I think I rode on a mule one time when I was in Georgia. And I rode horses here in New York.
Oh well, I can't remember riding a mule, but I've seen them before. But when you talk about donkeys, yeah, as I say, a lot of people use them even now, and to bring like coal from the bush and stuff. Yeah, a lot of people use donkeys. And this has been a fun ride. Anyway, I'll be ending my ride here on Union Turnpike and Main Street. I hope you will remember to subscribe. See you soon.